Okay, let's get started. Thanks again for everyone who has joined us today for our latest webinar, Connecting Your Accounting Packages. This is something that is used by a huge amount of our, typically our small and medium businesses out there who are using MYOB and Xero specifically. So if you have integrated, fantastic, thank you. If you haven't, this will give you all the information you should require in order to get set up and connect your accounting package with your CreditorWatch account. If you don't have a CreditorWatch account, hopefully this ticks off two boxes for you, gets you to join and gets you to connect your accounting package. So a little quick agenda here. I'll just briefly discuss a little bit about who CreditorWatch is, and obviously then start getting into the nitty-gritty of connecting your Xero and or MYOB account with your CreditorWatch account. We'll do a live demonstration showing exactly how to onboard, set up and use, and we'll touch on the features and benefits as well. It'll be a fairly quick and easy webinar today. Very straightforward. If you have any questions at any time, please use the questions box in the GoToWebinar control panel and we'll try to answer them as we go. If there's some time at the end, I may even look at answering some as well. If we don't get back to you, we will get back to you in the next 24 hours, either by calling you or sending you an email in response to your question. So please don't fret if we don't get back to you straight away. My name's Patrick, I'm the MD at CreditorWatch, and I have been at CreditorWatch from day one as one of the founding employees alongside Dale Hurley and Colin Porter. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always keen to expand my network, and it's always a good way to interact with customers and companies out there to find out what people are doing. Always welcome feedback as well, so don't be afraid to shoot me a message too. Just a little bit of housekeeping as well. If you do have to leave us early for whatever reason, we hope you don't, obviously, we are recording today's webinar, so we will send out a recording of this as well as the slides themselves, so you can share them at a later date or access them yourselves at a later date. So a little bit about CreditorWatch. The majority of people who are signed up to our webinars and our newsletters have a fairly good understanding of who we are. I think we do a pretty good job of communicating that. So we're Australia's leading commercial credit reporting bureau with over 50,000 customers, a wide range of products, but really the core product is CreditorWatch itself, which allows you to run credit reports and scores, monitor your customers or your suppliers for important email alerts and changes that occur to their credit reports. And we also give you access to a suite of debt collection tools within there as well. Apply Easy is our online credit application and decisioning solution. That's something that is used by sole traders onboarding 5 to 10 new companies a month, new customers a month, up to quite a number of public companies who are onboarding thousands of customers. It is a customized online credit application. So I do encourage you to check that out if you would like to have less reliance on your paper-based credit application and get some more technological advances in that space. Data washing and customer data updates as well. And of course, the Xero and MYOB integration, which ultimately by doing that turns CreditorWatch into a virtual accounts receivable manager for your business, which is particularly important for small and medium businesses who don't typically have a dedicated AR manager or credit manager within their business. So a quick poll question to get started so I know exactly who I'm dealing with. A really quick question: which accounting package do you use? We've got Xero, MYOB, Intuit, QuickBooks, Reckon, or other. This just helps me tailor my discussion today, and I do touch on exactly which packages you can integrate with, and also some upcoming integrations or connections that we're looking at in the future. All right, thank you for that. That's the majority of you have voted. no surprises here. The vast majority of people using Xero and MYOB, which is indicative of what is happening out there in the market. QuickBooks, obviously, big American giant who's come in, making inroads into the Australian market, but certainly just dominated by that MYOB and Xero duopoly. So looking at the MYOB and Xero integration, really what we're doing is we're integrating the data that's available in your Xero and MYOB account with the data that's showing up in your CreditorWatch account. So we're being able to take receivables information, for example, and put it into your credit reports that you're viewing. Why is that important? For first things first, I guess if you receive an email alert on a particular company, customer of yours, you click on the email alert that we send you, it takes you straight to the credit report, rather than having to go, okay, well, they've just gone, they've just been taken to court for $50,000. I better jump into Xero and have a look, to see what our exposure is at the moment. We'll actually show you all of that in one place. It's about being proactive and using your time as efficiently as possible. Straight away, you'll be able to see that there's multiple invoices overdue, 10, potentially thousands, tens of thousands of dollars at stake. You can get moving on that as soon as possible to obviously reduce your risk and exposure. It's helping you to better understand your customers as well, because you can see the two key bits of information on your customers in one place. The credit aspect of it, are they good, bad, indifferent? Are they going up? Are they going down from a credit score point of view? Are we dealing with the right entity? That sort of thing, alongside the data that is ultimately running your business, paying your bills, and that's the sales that are coming into your business. So which MYOB versions do we support? Obviously, there's only one Xero version out there that we support, but from an MYOB point of view, we support Essentials Live and Account Right Live. Upcoming, and we get asked on this quite a bit, we are looking at MYOB Advanced, which is I believe their newest cloud product. Sage has a cloud-based SME offering, and also QuickBooks Online. We're in the process at the moment of running a poll within CreditorWatch. So if you do see that pop up, please try to answer it as truthfully or as accurately as possible. I know that from time to time it's easy to sort of just select the first thing that pops up in the options, but it really does assist us with our pipeline of development projects that we're planning, and helps us to prioritize exactly which ones we should be doing next. There's no one that's sort of leading at the moment. Those three would be, 1, 2, 3, very closely aligned at the moment based on the data that we're seeing from our customer base. So I'll just touch on the features before we get into a demonstration. Debtor analysis. So CreditorWatch will analyze your outstanding debtors and compare them against their credit files, as I mentioned before. The most important thing we're doing is we're going to flag the biggest risks to your business and ultimately cash flow. So we're going to show you that your highest risk customers, what deems them to be high risk? Well, that's the amount of adverse information against them. So court actions, payment defaults, are they still trading? Are they in administration? We're going to bring all of that to the fore so you can make quick decisions, understand which ones are posing a serious risk to your business, and hopefully either call in the outstanding debts that they owe you, or even move them on to a COD type relationship. By connecting, we'll also automate credit checks for you. So every time you add a new contact to Xero or MYOB, we will automatically send you an email of the credit report of that particular contact straight to you. This is great. Now, we obviously would prefer that you're logging into CreditorWatch all the time, but we know that's not always going to be at the forefront of your mind when you're running a business. So we'll push that PDF credit report to you so you can have a look at it. Hopefully, if there is negative information on there, you're able to either pull back on the goods or services that you're about to deliver to that new company. Name match. Now, this is a really handy tool that we've developed in-house at CreditorWatch. It helps you identify and verify the ABNs of your customers. So companies are becoming more and more aware of the importance of having an ABN on their customer. However, very often we're still relying on just putting in, a trading name or a business name that you know them of, Mix Fish and Chips down the road. Yeah, that's Paul's Mechanic. What we really try to educate our users is to get the actual ABN or ACN and the correct business name or trading name, and that name match tool certainly assists with that. So key benefits: avoid bad debtors. That is everything that CreditorWatch does is about avoiding bad debtors, getting paid on time. We want you to know exactly who you are dealing with at all times, and that includes changes ongoing. So you could be dealing with a certain company for a number of years. They sell it without telling you. What you would likely see is new directors come on board and old directors leaving. We will send you email alerts for that, so you can get in contact and make sure that any personal guarantees, directors guarantees, etc., are in place with those new owners, and you're making contact and speaking to them and getting a feel for who they are. Will they, they sort of pass the pub test, so they seem like good operators that are going to pay their bills, and also gives you an opportunity to educate them on how you run your business and your receivables processes. And the last one there, gauge credit risk and outstandings in one view. That's the ultimate there that you're getting with that connectivity. So steps to activate. I've got a couple of links in here. This is our last slide before I jump into a live demonstration, but we can send this to you at the end as well, as I said, but really straightforward: creditorwatch.com.au/Xero or /MYOB, and that will take you through the steps to start integrating. So what I've done here is I've done the one-click authorization to allow CreditorWatch to connect with my Xero account, a demo Xero account, and this is the first pop-up that we've got that comes through. So Xero linked successfully. It's telling me it's identified 22 contacts or customers, 0 high risk contacts, and 21 contacts without an ABN. Clicking next, it's now giving me the opportunity to start monitoring those particular entities, those particular customers that are in my Xero account. Really important. Monitoring is the most powerful tool that you get with your CreditorWatch account. So we do encourage you to monitor all of your customers, not just your active ones, anyone that can come to you and get credit at any time without necessarily having to go through, a credit application or another credit report. So in this case, it's giving me the option to monitor my one active contact. Now, active means there's a current outstanding invoice, or I can monitor all of my contacts in Xero. Now, these are all the ones that have ABNs. So I'm going to monitor all of them, and that's going to start adding them to my watch list, my monitoring list, and I'll receive email alerts on those as changes occur. And those changes can include anything from ABR and ASIC changes through to adverse information like court actions, payment defaults, mercantile inquiries, and insolvency notices. Really important information that I should be notified of. And that obviously will help me run my business in a much more secure and hopefully cash flow positive manner. So this is the Xero integration dashboard, your homepage, so to speak, and that is accessed within your CreditorWatch account by clicking on accounting. So once you have connected either your Xero or MYOB account, you'll have that accounting option up in the header there that you can click on. The Xero and MYOB iterations look identical, other than obviously Xero being replaced with MYOB. So a little summary here that we're seeing: total receivables, total overdue, max outstanding, single outstanding amount, and max account that is overdue as well. We've got a couple of average days to paid options or formulas in here, one being days sales outstanding and the other one being days beyond terms. Depending on what you use internally, you've got the option to toggle them on and off. The other stat that we're pulling from Xero as well is DSO. So that's a specific one that comes up in Xero. We pull that through. So currently DSO is 110 days. Industry average is 36. So I need to get on top of my collections, obviously. Sales and outstanding, we can see last financial year, this financial year, last 30 days for both of those. And then we've got our age trial balance. So we can see that my collections process is very, very poor at the moment. The vast majority of my outstanding sitting at 90 days plus. Really, they should be sitting in that current and 1 to 30 options here. So I've got a fair amount of work to do. As I said earlier, in your CreditorWatch account, you have a number of debt collection tools that you can use that can assist you with that, and they are available under the debt collection tools option, and I can touch on that in a little bit as well. I'll open that later on. At any stage, you can actually click on all of these stats, and it will take you through to a list of those particular accounts, how much they owe you, and the outstanding and overdues for those particular customers. Jumping back to the dashboard, back to our summary, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on high risk. Now at this stage, there's nothing in here that suggests I have any high risk customers, which is a good sign. However, I also know that I have a number of missing ABNs. So I've got companies that I haven't assigned an ABN to, therefore CreditorWatch hasn't deemed them to be high risk or low risk. Once I've got that ABN in there, they can do a search of the bureau, all happening automatically in real time. But this high risk section is going to tell you any companies that you're dealing with that have adverse information against them, or that may have a negative trading status, for example, in administration, strike-off action, deregistered or cancelled, things that you really need to know about now and to deal with immediately. Jumping on to missing ABNs, this is where we find what we call name match. So it's our own proprietary technology that we have developed in-house at CreditorWatch, and it assists you to actually link an ABN to the data that you have in Xero. So in this case, the record in Xero we have is Ridgeway University, no address, so poor housekeeping on my behalf. I can see that there's $6,000 outstanding. This is what is coming back. Obviously, if it's only linking to a name, it's quite a difficult match to make, but it is pulling 3 out here. So we can say, okay, you know what, it's actually, I know that I'm dealing with them. They're in WA, Ridgeway Proprietary Limited. That is actually the correct one. Assign the ABN. Okay. Next one that pops up, DIISR, Small Business Services. I scroll through here. If I'm not overly confident with which one, I've got the option to skip this company, and I can always come back to that at another stage. Again, running through Pinnacle Management, I've actually got an address in here, I've got a location, Victoria, and a postcode, so I can select the one that I feel is most relevant. I won't go through the rest of them. I think that gives you a fairly good understanding of exactly what we're showing and how the missing ABN's name match does work. Doesn't take too long. If you find that you do have, dozens or potentially hundreds in there, CreditorWatch, we can actually do it for you in a bulk name match rather than having you go through one at a time. You provide those records to us, we run it through a name match data wash and provide them back to you so we can get them uploaded in a bulk fashion into your account as well. What this does, it should also update your Xero and MYOB accounts with the correct ABN too, so very helpful. Top 10 list, this is just pulling out top 10 outstanding, overdue and oldest invoices. Again, importantly, what you can do is you can actually click on these particular entities and it's going to take you through to their credit report. So Ridgeway was that one that I assigned an ABN to just before. By clicking on there, takes me through to their CreditorWatch credit report, and I can start to have a look to get a better understanding of who they are and what they're doing. So we have a nice clean credit report here. I can see the receivables information here, average days to paid. So this is the first time I've invoiced them, so not something that I have to be too worried about. If I click and go to a different one, we can go through to a couple. bear with me 1 second. I'll show you what a poor performing company looks like, just to give you a better sense of what you should be looking for when you're looking at a credit report. So this is using CreditorWatch. I don't have these guys in Xero at the moment. However, that just gives you a better understanding of what to look at from a negative credit report point of view. Multiple defaults, court actions, insolvency notices, and they're in external administration. So by clicking on any one of these, it's taking you through to have a look at who has registered defaults against them, for how much. We can see multiple court actions as well have taken place, and also insolvency notices too. Okay. The last one, we've got a little help tab here, which is just giving you an understanding of the industry standard ratios for DSO and your days beyond terms. Jumping back into the summary option, that is really the Xero or MYOB integration demo in its simplest form. We are providing you with as much information as your Xero account has into your CreditorWatch account, integrating the credit risk information with the receivables data. As you can see here, even though we haven't necessarily appended an ABN, we're still pulling through that information here, and you can still click to set that particular one. Again, this is another view of the potential name match. Click through and you are done. Very straightforward. So that really brings us to the end of the demonstration today. What I will show you quickly is the debt collection tools for those of you who may have a similar age trial balance look and feel to the one I just showed you. Clicking through to the debt collection tools, we provide you with a number of letters and templates for you to use, including reminder notices, final notice, and the strongest one possible, a letter of demand. By clicking that, you're able to generate a very nice branded PDF. Here's a nice example here. So it has all of your contact information. It has all the information around what is currently outstanding, invoices, numbers, issue dates, etc., and explains that failure to pay will result in a default being registered on CreditorWatch. This would be your logo that you would put in. You can add a signature, and you can add all of your payment requests or the way you take payment as well, whether you take them all or maybe just one or two. All of that is done when you first start using debt collection tools. It's a really nice, simple, professional way to create important payment request templates, and ultimately you'll print that out and send that off to your customers. One other tab that I just skipped over before, not monitoring. So these are the other entities that I name matched previously. So again, really simple to do, one at a time, or monitor all of them, and that adds them to your monitoring list ongoing. All right, so we try to make it as user-friendly as possible, the least amount of clicks as possible to get as much done. So jumping back onto the final slide there, again, that is how you will activate. If you have any questions, of course, please call in 0281882025. We've got internal customer service people ready to help you, or if you're a little bit more time poor and just prefer email, admin@creditorwatch.com.au. We also have live chat options, as you can see in here. Clicking on there, you can actually write a message to our team who are standing by. I'll jump in and see, are there any questions and whether they're being answered. Got a question here, what about Account Right Premier 19? To be honest, I'm not overly familiar with that. I'm assuming that's an MYOB one. We only integrate with the two MYOB ones that I flagged previously. They're cloud-based ones, Account Right Live and Essentials Live. However, we are investigating MYOB Advanced. For those that are desktop-based, non-cloud, it is unlikely that we will integrate with those. The reason being, it's often very difficult to get a API integration from MYOB or other providers that have desktop or non-cloud versions of their accounting packages. They don't typically support API integration for them into a third party like CreditorWatch, for example. We're also finding that more and more people are moving to those cloud-based ones, so we have to really think about the future as well. The vast majority of people are moving away from desktop onto cloud-based versions of their respective accounting packages. And I think that is it. The other question we've got here is, can we cancel the integration? Yes, you can cancel that at any time by contacting us. So if you integrate, fantastic. You might have a play with it and think, you know what, this is not something for me. Not a problem. Contact us and we will disconnect that connection on the spot for you. And from a pricing point of view, a few questions there. Is there any additional fees to integrate with Xero and MYOB? The answer is no. It is part of your subscription. So please don't worry about incurring additional fees for that. Just jump in, integrate, and have a play with that new integration once you have done it. So I'll leave it there for today. If there are no other questions, I think I've managed to get to all of them. If you do have any other questions going down the track, please just contact us direct at CreditorWatch or via the live chat within your CreditorWatch account, or of course by emailing us admin@creditorwatch.com.au. And it goes without saying, you obviously need to have a CreditorWatch account to take advantage of this particular service that we're offering. So thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Have a fantastic week.